Hey guys, welcome back to Mokho Talks. My name is Mokho, and tonight we're gonna talk about something that I never thought would happen. Microsoft is going to acquire Activision Blizzard.
That is, it was. Now, reality can be whatever I want.
I mean, this came to a shock to me that this actually went through. Like, what the hell were they fighting for all these years for this to finally get there? I mean, it's quite insane, to be honest. I did not I know that Microsoft's been going after gaming in general these days with the acquisition of Bethesda not so long ago, but now they're going after one of the big dogs, that is Activision Blizzard. And honestly, in my personal opinion, this is not a disaster, but not that good of a step forward for the gaming industry in general. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the gritty details of what happened on July 15th and how this whole thing came to light. Right, so from The Verge here, I think this is the closest article I could find that gave us all the details of the court case, what the judge said, what Sony and Microsoft agreed on, and what the head of Activision Blizzard and Microsoft said with their tweets. So they're all in one article, and we're gonna read this, and I will give my opinion on each and every one of the points. So Microsoft wins FTC fight to buy Activision Blizzard. So by the way, what is the FTC doing? So what do you mean to buy? How much we're going to buy is, from the number I got, is $69 billion. That's a big number. So a California judge is allowing Microsoft to close its acquisition of Activision Blizzard after 5 days of grueling testimony. Microsoft still faces an ongoing antitrust case by the Federal Trade Commission, but Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley has listened to arguments from both the FTC and Microsoft and decided to deny the regulator's request for a preliminary injunction. In a ruling submitted today, Judge Corley said the following. So the day means, I think last week, July 15 or 13, something like that. I'm not quite sure of the dates. I think it's July 11 basically, I think, yeah. So, Microsoft's acquisition of Activision has been described as the largest in tech history. It deserves scrutiny. That scrutiny has paid off. Microsoft has committed in writing, in public, and in court to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for 10 years on parity with Xbox. Now, why this scrutiny was going on? So, the main argument from the FTC and Sony is that Microsoft will now monopolize all the multiplayer games that been churning out, especially Call of Duty, because Activision is Call of Duty and Call of Duty is Activision. So you can play Call of Duty on PlayStation right now, and it generates a lot of revenue for PlayStation, for Sony. And if Microsoft acquired that game, then since Microsoft has Xbox and they now acquired Activision Blizzard, Sony was afraid that, hey, you're gonna monopolize this game that makes us a lot of money, because, you know, their exclusivity doesn't really make them that much money. Anyway, so that was the main argument. And then Microsoft finally said, okay, listen guys, we just want to make a lot of money, and we don't care if you guys make a lot of money as well. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna sign an agreement that says we're not gonna monopolize Call of Duty on Xbox for the next 10 years. Basically, that won them the case court. It made an agreement with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to Switch, that too, by the way, and it entered several agreements for the first time bring Activision's content to several cloud gaming services. This court's responsibility in this case is narrow. It is decided if, notwithstanding these current circumstances, the merger should be halted, perhaps even terminated, pending resolution of the FTC administrative action. For the reasons explained, the court finds the FTC has not shown a likelihood it will prevail on its claim this particular vertical merger in this specific industry may substantially lessen competition. To the contrary, the record evidence points to more consumer access to Call of Duty and other Activision content. The motion for a preliminary injunction is therefore denied. So, we lost, basically. Us as gamers basically lost. And I'm gonna tell you why. You're gonna say, no, Mokho, what are you talking about? Now more people with more consoles have access to this game. But it's not just this game. It's not just Call of Duty. This is not the point that us gamers are talking about here. This is not good for competition, basically. You have one company eating up all the big guys out there, and they're just gonna control their narrative, control the product, control how things are going from now on. And thus it will destroy creativity in the gaming world. That is my opinion on this subject. It's not that is, availability or accessibility. Hey, good for you. You have accessibility now, but that's not the point we're making. What I thrive as a gamer, I want creativity in my games. I want diversity in my games. Like, not the diversity you're thinking about, the other diversity, which is in writing, in category, in genre. I don't want a clone. I don't want games to be cloned. I mean, I may be very pessimistic over here, but I really disagree with what Microsoft is doing. And I'll tell you why as soon as I finish this article. I'll give you a whole comprehensive argument from my reasoning as a consumer and as a gaming enthusiast. Now, Judge Corley has clearly sided with Microsoft on its commitments to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation and even extended the game to Nintendo Switch. Despite the FTC challenging Microsoft's cloud agreements, Judge Corley took them into consideration in her decision. The court ruling even agrees with Microsoft in theory about the Nintendo Switch being part of the console market, but also accepts the FTC can reasonably claim it's not. Judge Corley has also agreed with the FTC that the console market does not include PCs. Huh? Of course it doesn't include PCs. What the hell is she talking about? Anyway, in a statement following Judge Corley's decision, Microsoft President Brad Smith said the company was grateful to the court in San Francisco for this quick and thorough decision and hope other jurisdictions will continue working towards a timely resolution. So what he means about other jurisdictions is with Europe and United Kingdom. I think Europe now is done. Yeah, they agreed on that, and they're still stuck on United Kingdom. But for now, the gaming commission over there is not really fighting them. They made it on a halt, I'm guessing, if my memory serves correct. But since United Kingdom is no longer part of Europe, they're gonna like, yeah, if they don't agree, we're just gonna skip United Kingdom. But I think they're gonna agree with this as well, this ruling as well. Xbox head Phil Spencer, a key witness in the trial, also tweeted a reaction. We are grateful to the court for swiftly deciding in our favor. The evidence showed that the Activision Blizzard deal is good for the industry. It's not. And the FTC's claim about console switching, multi-gaming subscription services, and cloud don't reflect the realities of the gaming market, said Spencer. So this is Brad Smith. Brad Smith tweet. It's, we can check it out ourselves. But we'll check it out later. Activision Blizzard has also reacted to the decision. Our merger will benefit consumers and workers. Bobby Kotick, I hate this guy, Activision Blizzard CEO, said in a statement, it will enable competition rather than allow entrenched market leaders to continue to dominate our rapidly growing industry. Before we continue, I have a major problem with Bobby Kotick. I really dislike this guy. He is one of the most dislikable persons in the gaming industry at this moment. And this statement here is a lot of bullshit, okay? Because what's going on right now is, I was going to leave this point for later, but let's just say, give a little tidbit here and there. What's going on right now is you're having this huge mega corporation buying other big corporation. I mean, Activision Blizzard is not some indie game company, although their game says otherwise. They have a huge budget. Bethesda had a huge budget. Ubisoft has a huge budget. So does EA. So does Rockstar. And what's happening right now? These games are these companies are gonna chokehold the fucking gaming market. If you want to enable competition, if you want to help competition, if you want to make people, make people compete on these games, why don't you just invest in studios and help them grow? Why not take indie companies and make them grow, invest in them, give them some capital? Why don't you do that? Why are you going on and buying the big boys who already have a huge budget and are creatively bankrupt, and not helping these small indie companies that are churning actual good games out here? We have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of games per year being produced by these indie companies. Some are good, some are bad, but most of them are coming out as good. And if we have big boys like Microsoft giving these small companies the capital and budget they need, we might actually have much better creative-wise games out there, because we don't really expect much from a small studio, but you're gonna expect a lot from Activision Blizzard, a big company, to make a huge ass game. And why should I wait 6, 7, or 10 years for a well-developed game, which is basically gonna come out broken as usual because of deadlines and problems, and that will need like a first day patch? Then these small indie companies that churn out games every 2-3 years, they may be small in stature, but they're big with creativity. Now imagine if these small companies had a huge budget like Activision Blizzard from Microsoft. They would have more time and money to make an actual good game with less time required. I may be talking out of my ass here, but that is, if you want to help competition, what would you do? You would actually create more studios, not acquire big ass studios with already huge budget to keep doing what they do always and choke out the small studios. That's my opinion, though. In a statement, FTC spokesperson Douglas Farrar said the FTC was still planning its next move. "We are disappointed in this outcome, given the clear threat this merger poses to open competition in cloud gaming, subscription services, and consoles. In the coming days, we'll be announcing our next step to continue our fight to preserve competition and protect consumers." He has a point there, but you guys did not help. Your argument fell flat on their faces. By the way, there's something else I'm gonna show you guys later. This judge ruling now allows Microsoft to close its Activision Blizzard deal ahead of the July 18th deadline, but only if the company is willing to close around the UK. There they go, the UK. Or if the Competition and Markets Authority (CMA) is willing to negotiate some form of remedy. The UK regulator moved to block Microsoft's proposed acquisition in April, and Microsoft is currently appealing that decision, with a hearing set start on July 28th. So they tried to open in the UK, they blocked them, but I think now they have, after Judge Corley's decision was made public, both the CMA and Microsoft have agreed to pause their legal battle in the UK, basically. That's the whole point here. That's what all we have for this, that's what we have for this right now for regarding Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. So, as I was saying before, this will not help competition whatsoever. Bethesda still has Starfield coming out this year. I don't know if it will be good or bad. Let's hope it will be good. I really like having good games out there. I do not want to see bad games going out. But the other problem is with this now. Sony's own sales margins were released during this whole fight, and it wasn't pretty, man. It wasn't pretty at all. So their sales were, since they were using it to fight this, and they were using it as like a way to argue against Microsoft, but their bad redact was basically showed what the problem is. because they're so incompetent. These companies, man, they're incompetent. Here, I will show you guys right now. So, Sony's confidential PlayStation secrets just spilled because of a Sharpie. Highly confidential information about the PlayStation business has just been revealed by mistake. As part of the FTC versus Microsoft hearing, Sony supplied a document from PlayStation chief Jim Ryan that includes redacted details on the margin Sony shares with publishers, its Call of Duty revenues, and even the cost of developing some of its games. Look at this, guys. Look at this. How are you redacting with this? This is like 212 million, 5 years, 2017, 300 full-time employees, 20 months. It's out there right now. It's out there. It looks like someone redacted docs with a black Sharpie, but when you scan them, it's easy to see some of the redaction. Oops. Whoopsie. We made a boo-boo. Sony made a boo-boo. The court has scrambled and removed the document, but the damage is done. The reporters and Sony's competition have already downloaded all the documents while they were in the public domain. Among other things, the document shows that Horizon Forbidden West apparently cost $212 million. God damn! Over 5 years with 300 employees. The Last of Us Part 2 cost $220 million with around 200 employees. God damn. Guys, The Last of Us Part 2 cost $220 million and had 200 employees working on it. That piece of crap of a game had 200 employees working on it. God damn, what were they doing? It's not just how much games cost to make that's been revealed here either. Sony says 1 million PlayStation gamers play nothing but Call of Duty. So, like, they argued against themselves. They showed how bad these Sony exclusive are. These PlayStation exclusive are. Stop with the exclusivity, guys. It's not good. Trust me. Having exclusives is not good for you as a gamer or the gaming companies, because look at that. Your beloved Sony said this themselves, that their players would rather play Call of Duty than The Last of Us Part 2 and Horizon Forbidden West. And let's not forget how much inflated it was on Twitter when everyone's saying it was the game, and it won the Game of the Year award. Seriously? And everyone was just saying, oh, this was an amazing game. It's like the most well-written and shocking game, masterpiece of a game. It was not. The Last of Us Part 2 had the worst writing I've ever seen in my entire adult life. It was horrible. And I didn't even touch Forbidden West yet. I liked the first game, but it was still like very much empty most of the time. Anyway. So in 2021, over 40 million users by device spent 30% or more of their time playing Call of Duty. Over 6 million users spent more than 70% of the time on Call of Duty. And about 1 million users spent 100% of their time playing Call of Duty. In 2021, Call of Duty players spent an average of 116 hours per year playing Call of Duty. Call of Duty players spending more, etc, etc, etc. Sony supplied this information in an attempt to show that its revenue would be heavily impacted if Call of Duty was on Xbox exclusive. So, your games aren't doing that much. I mean, granted, you're talking about a multiplayer game versus a single player game, but everyone's still playing Elden Ring. Everyone's still playing Ghost of Tsushima. So, what's your excuse? In multiple filings to regulators, Sony has maintained that it fears Microsoft could make Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox or even sabotage the PlayStation version of the game. And we may have an inkling of their revenue impact because Sony also accidentally revealed how much money Call of Duty is worth to PlayStation. We already knew the figure was over $1 billion, but the document suggests Call of Duty was worth $800 million for PlayStation revenue in just the US during 2021. And we think the document says 1.5 billion globally. And that's just the game alone. But even when you count accessories, subscriptions, and everything else, then that jumps to what appears to our eyes to be $15.9 billion a year, or perhaps $13.9 billion. Either way, it's a huge amount. So you're spending. I'm sorry. Let's just take that from top again. You're spending $212 million. And 300 employees to produce crap that no one gonna play. Well, everyone on your highly beloved exclusivities that's won Game of the Year award, which is 100% rigged, and everyone's just playing Call of Duty. This is not just shocking. We all knew this, and we've all been saying these games are not what they are. But you know, the chronically online Twitter folks would argue with you and call you a bigot over it, and we've already criticized these two games. They are one of the worst made games we've ever seen. God of War was insanely much better than these two games, and I don't know why they cost so much to make. Anyway, how much does Sony share with third-party publisher like Activision? This one's fuzzy enough, we can't confidently trust it, but the typical margin looks like it might be 10%. The document also reveals that Sony only has one more Call of Duty game as part of its exclusive marketing deal with Activision. The last game covered by the contract is Call of Duty title to be released in late 2023. Reads part of the document, but renewal wasn't properly okay. So that's basically the gist of it. So again, I have to say this. I don't agree with this merger with Microsoft. It will choke out the competition. There is better way to grow competition in the market, and that's not the way to do it. All right. And other than that, exclusivity is not helping Sony. It's not, guys. Get over it. We need the game. You need the games to be on PC. Enough with this classy, high class, you know, just PS people out there. It's not good for the competition. It's not good for the gaming industry. You guys are not benefiting from this. We've argued against you guys many times ago. I'm talking to the people who only plays PS games. It's not good. Elden Ring sold huge amount and made a huge amount of revenue, and it still is making a huge amount of revenue because it's on all platforms. Stop with the exclusivity. Stop with Microsoft monopolizing all the fucking high big dog studios and start investing in smaller ones or helping them at least a little bit. Come on, man. Anyway, that's my opinion on this. This is not good. This is bad. The merger is bad. The exclusivity is bad. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, I want to read more about this. I'll leave the sources down below in the descriptions, I guess. Let's hope I don't forget. Leave a comment down there below. Tell me what you guys think. I really want to hear how you guys feel about this merger. If you agree with it. If you don't agree with it, do you think it's going to give you more games in the future? Because I don't think so. Because, you know, Activision Blizzard already has a budget. It doesn't need Microsoft's money. You know, just saying, Microsoft just wants more studios under it, and because it can't help, it doesn't know how to grow already established studios, small indie studios. It's just buying off the big ones, you know, putting them under the belt. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao for now. Bye bye.